iPhone 7 versus iPhone SE iOS 11.1 Beta 2. That video is coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up guys, Nick here helping you to master your technology, and welcome to the iPhone 7 11.1 Beta 2 versus the iPhone SE iOS 11.1 Beta 2. Now the reason I'm making this comparison is because I wanted to do a software test on both of these, but I might as well just do them both against each other so we can kind of simultaneously check out how they're performing on each the iPhone 7 as well as the iPhone SE. So let's go ahead and boot them up at the same time in 3, 2, 1. And if you guys want to know the features that are included, well, it's not much included with 11.1 Beta 2. Check my video from yesterday. I just released what's new video. I'll drop it down below in the description area of this video. So I expect the iPhone 7 to win in most of the tests we're going to do here, but we're going to take a look at how much space it actually took to download these guys, as well as the storage and some Geekbench scores. And some of these results might be a little surprising to you here. So it looks like the iPhone, which one's going to win? We don't know just yet. The iOS actually took a long time here to boot up on this 11.1 Beta 2. It was actually a little bit longer than prior versions, so they might just be cleaning up a lot of stuff in the background. I hope it gets a little bit faster though. But you see, the iPhone 7 was a clear win here when it comes to the boot up test, a good 5 to 10 seconds longer than iPhone SE. All right guys, so here we are in the devices. Let's go ahead and go into photos now and take a look at some of the information here on iOS 11.1 Beta 2. So for the iPhone 7, you're looking at right around 155.7 megabyte download for this beta version. And I installed it here. Before I installed it, I was on 11.1, the beta 1, and I had 16.9 gigabytes available on a 32 gig SE or a iPhone 7. I do have 1763 on the single core, which is quite low to be honest here on the iPhone 7, and a 3122 on the multi-core. Okay guys, so if we go into settings here, you can see right here the new build number 11.1 15B5078E, and it looks like I actually lost a little bit of space here versus, you know, when I wasn't on this beta 2 here. I actually lost about 3 gigs, so you lose a little space here on this update. Now taking a look at the iPhone SE's version, this one came in at a slightly smaller 129.6 megabytes on this download, and it had 2.5 gigabytes available. It's a 16 gigabyte version here, and surprisingly it got higher scores than the iPhone 7 on the prior version. But keep in mind, this one was running iOS 11.1, the same beta, so that's kind of shocking to see that the SE performed better than the iPhone 7, like clearly on the Geekbench here before the update. But now that we are in the update, just taking a look at their general UI, you're not going to see any visual facing changes, meaning on the front, but you see that little lag is still present on the SE when you go into the widgets tray, and it's there on the iPhone 7 as well. That is so annoying to me when it boots up here. But scrolling through the notification trays, no issues there. Control center's still buttery smooth on both, and we're going to take a look at speed in just a minute here, but then we're going to do a Geekbench and see how much different it is in terms of the performance here in terms of Geekbench. Okay guys, so one of the things I wanted to talk about before we speed test them is that the fingerprint scanner response time is going to get much quicker here in iOS 11.1. So when this dot release does become official, the fingerprint scanner response time should be quicker no matter which iPhone you are using. So that's nice to see right there. Also, you're going to get a ton of new emojis here on your devices. So let's go ahead and see how they perform in comparison to each other. And basically you can see if you have an iPhone 7 or an SE how they're doing here on the latest 11.1 Beta 2. Going in the calendar, that one looked about the same. Coming home here, let's go ahead and go into clock. You can see slightly, I think, to the iPhone 7 there. Coming home, let's go into weather here, and you can see the SE slightly on that one. Performance looking very similar here on your stock applications. Going into the App Store, and couldn't connect here on the SE, so a little bit of an issue there for the SE. Let's go ahead and go into the settings now, and you could see settings did load up first there. It looked about the same on both. You guys let me know down below in the comment section of this video. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and go into apple.com here on both devices, and you could see the iPhone 7 slightly a win there. Coming home, let's go ahead and go into camera at the same time in 3, 2, and 1. And you can see the camera looked faster on the iPhone SE. Coming home, let's go ahead and go into Instagram on both in 3, 2, and 1. And you could see Instagram loads there first, easily for the iPhone SE. So the SE is actually performing quite well here on this .1 release update. So if you're watching this video, you're an SE user, you're gonna be good coming up here soon. And battery actually has improved as well at 11.1. I'm dropping percentages a lot slower than I was on the 11 official that just dropped to the public when Apple released it. So let's go ahead and go into Snapchat now. And you can see Snapchat again faster on the SE. A9 taking the A10 to school on that one. What about Twitter here? 3, 2, 1. And you could see Twitter is first there for the SE again. So I don't know what's going on with the iPhone 7. There's still actually 3D touch lag here on the iPhone 7, just a little bit, not bad, but still it's there on iPhone 7 still. But a nice thing is that you do get your 3D touch multitasking back here for the iPhone 7. So if you love this feature, it's back here on the iPhone 7. Let's go into Amazon now on both. And you can see Amazon loads first there on the SE again. So the SE is doing pretty good with its optimization. Apple might have actually optimized this a little bit better for its smaller device. So what about Subway Surfers? And you can see Subway Surfers looking, who's gonna win this one? This is the gaming round. GPU's in action here. Oh, that one was close. I think that was the SE though. I think it was. Let me know down below. So what about Real Boxing? Same time? And iPhone 7 looks to be in the lead, but SE's loading it a little bit quicker. This is very strange. I've never seen, you know, the SE really beat the iPhone 7 very frequently at all. And this is a 16 gig, this is a 32 gig, and it beats it on the gaming too. This is nuts. So the iPhone 7 needs some work here in iOS 11.1. Now over time, I think it's gonna get better than this phone, but I don't know what it is right now. It's just not performing quite as good as iPhone SE. So let's go ahead and go into Geekbench here on both, and it loads that first as well. We're gonna go ahead and run a CPU benchmark now to see how they have changed over the 11.1 beta one. So we're gonna run them and I'll be back in just a second. Okay guys, so that's more like it. Now the iPhone 7 does a 3405 in the single core and a 5593 on the multi-core. The SE does a 2523 on single and a 4404 on multi-core. So the iPhone 7 crushes the SE in the Geekbench there. I don't know what happened with my first test, but it was kind of bad for the iPhone 7. So let's go ahead and go into some RAM management now. And you know what? This is probably not even needed because we know that the iPhone does good RAM management. So I'm just gonna go through the third-party apps here to see if we get any reloads here on iOS 11.1 beta 2. Now, one thing I've been noticing on 11 in general is from time to time, there'll be like this weird frame rate drop where like the whole entire OS will just feel very buggy. So I don't know if you've had this issue as well, but it's looking very smooth and non-stuttery here in iOS 11.1 beta 2 for both devices, except for when you first boot it up, you still get that little lag on the widget tray. So it's looking good for you guys. The official should be dropping before the iPhone X or 10 does release. So if you found this video helpful, enjoyable, go ahead and click the like button for me down below. The iPhone 7's battery life is doing decent as well, a little bit better than it did in the 11.1 beta one. So it's looking like it's coming along. It's still not to the level of iOS 10 just yet, so hang in there. It's gonna get better. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well. I will catch you all in the next video, and peace.